Just really want to get help for our neighbour in particular, as well as our horses. We'd like to be able to get a horse truck in there, but we're not allowed to even go to our property. So we have not seen what we've seen on the news, and everyone's messaging us, and we've seen it. We've seen our bed and breakfast explode, our wine bar burn to the ground. Every single house or shed is gone. We think there might be one house left for us to live in. We have nowhere else to go, and we have to look after our horses, so we have to remain in Gippsland. We have to be in Gippsland, but at the moment we're in a motel with our dogs, which is great. They've been fantastic, but we just want to get a horse truck in there. We need permission to go to our own property to see what's left before more burns down. We've got trees falling every half hour, according to our neighbour, who is trapped behind the trees on her property, completely blocked in. We've begged for people to come out with bulldozers. We've begged for the CFA or the police to speak to us. Not one authoritative person has spoken to me when I've asked them. They will not acknowledge where we're from, who we are, where Tonnenbuck is, in the town of Bunyip, which is opposite over the highway. My son was abused by the police in an attempt to evacuate, and we were in a string of all our neighbours with their children and dogs, leaving horses behind or having evacuated them, leaving their entire properties, and we had nowhere to go, and we were told to get out of the way of the fire trucks that were going to our fire, which did not enter the freeway in the end. They were left at the front of the freeway, which is another issue. They have basically abandoned Tonnenbuck to the fire, and it has been quoted. So we've been sacrificed to the fireball that is a result of the Parks Victoria locking the park up for nearly 10 years after Black Saturday. We've been begging and begging. My husband has virtually given up until this point, and it has now happened. Our worst fear has happened, and our property is decimated. And we have lost our livelihood. We have no way of earning money to pay our mortgage. We have horses and other animals, children to keep, and our property to clean and maintain, which is now flattened. So we just actually don't know what to do.
I think we need to try and get the authorities to really enact as much resources as they can to get in there, because it's still a very dangerous situation, and try and save as much property as possible at the moment.
How are you feeling now with your family here?
Well, it's good that they're all here. Like, we could have... I left last on Saturday afternoon, and I felt like I was lucky to get out, because it was getting very close, and to go and get these dogs, and I cut all the fences inside the property so the horses could run internally and into where we've got our big jam. And I just checked as many things as I could. I couldn't catch the cat again. He wouldn't let me near him. And then I just sort of kissed the joint goodbye, because I knew, looking out over the horizon, that it was just so intense.
So you feel you've got nothing to go back to there?
Well, I don't want to go back. I know I'm going to completely fall apart when I see it.
I have to go back though. I need to get my horses out. So I've got someone with a truck, an 8-horse truck. We've got 13 in there, and I'm hoping they're all okay. We've been told that they've been seen and they're in a paddock. Someone's moved them. They are okay. We don't know if it's all of them, but I just need to at least get our young horses. If not, we just don't know what's going on in there. We've got ponies. We've got our entire lives gone. But at least if we can save our horses. If someone can let us get we've got a float, but we're not allowed. If we can just get a truck which we have access to through, and just with me, and I'll go in. I just need to see my horses and see what's going on. My husband can't cope, but I can do it, and my son or my daughter could come with me, but I just need permission to do that and someone to help me do it. Maybe the CFA or a truck or someone to just help. I just need to do that, because we have nothing left. If we lose our horses because of negligence and the firewall that was created by state, I just can't believe that this has happened when my husband's begged and begged for 10 years basically, since Black Saturday.
20 years.
20 years, but since then you would think that they would have listened, but they haven't listened, and they have just put us off until we have almost given up, and it's now happened, our absolute worst nightmare. And we have not seen it, but we've seen on the news everything exploding on our property. So it's been tagged as Jinks Creek Winery. We know it's our place.
We need someone to get out there now and help try and save what's left. So there's something to go back to, because we've lost basically everything. And our means of income.
Our neighbours are trapped. Like, they're actually trapped. They have young children and they are trapped inside. Their children are out.
Two parents
but they are inside and they cannot get out. And they need help, and they are directly next to our property, which has been decimated. So if you can imagine the fuel load on that property, imagine what they're facing. And they've got trees falling down on them constantly.